Good morning, everybody. It's Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone has had a great weekend and a great start to their week. I'm going to do my normal drill with me that I usually do on Mondays. And so get your kids out and let's drill and chat away. Um, I am almost done with the bottom two sections of um, the Disney Princesses Ensemble. So I seem to be making a pretty good dent, and hopefully I can keep, working on it um, as much as I can this week and divide my time up between that and cross stitch and reading and yeah. So my weekend was pretty good. We went swimming Saturday. I didn't go in the pool because um, of my eczema or psoriasis, because maybe I'm just a vain person and I didn't want everybody to see my back. So I just kind of, you know, sat out on um, my best friend's deck and let, the kids do their thing. And we didn't stay very long because my my best friend's husband, or whatever he is to her, um, he's kind of, I don't know what his issue is. She thinks he's bipolar. But anyway, one minute he can be, you know, the sweetest person on the face of the earth, and then the next minute he's, complaining, you know, bitching, whatever. And so, and my daughter was over there for the weekend, and so it just kind of got to a point where I noticed that he was starting to get, a little whatever. And I just looked at her, and I said, like maybe a half an hour after the kids got out of the pool, and I said, Becky, you know what? Just take me home. There's no sense in, him being the way he is, and us being here, because if I stay, I'm going to put my 2 cents worth in. So she brought us home, and we just stayed here, and that was basically it for that, for that, for all that. And it, I don't even know how to explain her relationship with him, because they're they're legally divorced, but where he lives, the county that he lives in, the schools there are better. And she wanted, her daughter Jasmine to go to the schools where, her dad, where her ex lives, because I guess they have better, her daughter has like ADHD, and I think there's something else, and they have better, I guess, ways to, help children, kids in the school system with those issues. So she moved back in. She was living with, her parents, and she moved back and has been there, ever since. And, I At first, he doesn't like me very much, and I haven't done anything to him, and he, you know, I don't know what exactly his issues are really. She she and I joke around. She thinks he's bipolar. So it's kind of one of those things, and I just I don't know how to explain it. And they get along. It's kind of one of those 50-50 things, and they get along. But then there are days that he yells at her and um, puts her down. Same thing with his daughter, and he's done it when my daughter has been there, and it's and she's like, and I can't leave because I really don't have. I mean, he's never raised a hand to her, but he's just. And I told her it could be he's just set in his ways. I mean, he's I don't know how old he is right off the top of my head, but I told her, I said it could be he's just set in his ways, and she said, well, either way. And she's gone off on him a couple of times, and I'm not sure if he's like after she does stand up to him a couple of times, I'm not quite sure you know if he backs down some, because I haven't really had a conversation with her like that. Um, but he's a weird one. That's all I can say. He's a weird one. And I don't judge, but when it comes to him, it's just, and I'm not around him enough, but when I am there, I stay to myself, and I don't really associate with him. Okay, that was weird. What was that noise? Okay, that was just strange. And I don't really associate with him as much as, just because me particularly, I don't really like him. But, you know, I socialize with him and I'm civil to him because, of my best friend. And that's about as far as it goes. So, um, so we did that. Um, then she got pizza for everybody, and we did that, and then we came home, and um, just basically we were here all day, all afternoon actually. It was like 5 or 6 o'clock, and that was basically what we did. And then yesterday, we didn't do really a whole lot yesterday. I'm trying to remember exactly because I can't remember what I did freaking 6 o'clock this morning sometimes. Um, but yesterday was like, I use sometimes I'll have a pajama day where I just sit around in my pajamas all day long, and that was basically what I did yesterday. I just didn't. I guess I was just being lazy. Who knows? I don't know. I just didn't feel like doing a whole lot, so I did that. And one of my neighbors, she wears, she's done this for me before. She's done this before. She brought 2 bags of clothes up here last night for me and my daughter. And she says, would you be interested in these? And I was like, sure, why not? I'm not gonna turn down free clothes. Sorry. And and she looked at me and she said, I'm gonna tell you, they're not, they're, some of them are um, name brand, and I just haven't, worn them in a while because she's retired and she really doesn't, go out. And she says, I've got all these clothes and these jeans, and I don't really, she says, and I don't need all these clothes. And I said, okay, well, she said, would you, be willing to, would you be ashamed or embarrassed? And I said, no. So, we went through those and did that. And then the ones that we really didn't, want, we're going to take to clothing drive that's coming this, think it's, I think it's this week. I'm not sure. See, I didn't write it down in my planner, and I have to go look at the flyer that is posted on our front of our building. So that, and that was basically, all of that. And let's see. Tell me why I watched a couple movies. There's a new movie for, those true crime people that watch my channel. For us true crime fanatics that, have told me that they like my podcast thing. There's a new movie on Netflix. And my daughter told me about it yesterday, actually. It's about Ted Bundy. And, well, I was like, when she told me, I was like, what? She says, yeah. And I said, you're kidding me, right? And she says, no. She says, and you'll never guess who plays Ted Bundy. And I looked at her and I said, who? She said, Zac Efron. Now, mind you, we all know who Zac Efron is. So I said, really? And, and I watched it. And, that movie had me baffled. I'll put it that way. It just had me baffled. I know I wasn't intending to do, this kind of crap today, but I just needed you guys to hear this. That movie had me so baffled because the way it portrays him in this movie, and I'm not saying he didn't do, all those killings, I'm not saying that because I truly believe that he did. But the way that it was portrayed in this movie, there's reasonable doubt at some point. There's reasonable doubt at some point. And I was just like, okay. But then, at the end, he's talking to there's this woman that he found love with, and he was going to marry her at one point. And I was just like, she came to see him right, I guess, at his execution, right before he died. And she point blank told him, she says, you need to release me, because I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of, however, because she was feeling like, crap, because she was the one that had called the police department and gave his name to the police that started all this. And so, she told him what she did. Well, she showed a picture of, I guess, a, dead woman And she point blank asked him, what did you do? Well, you don't have to go, she didn't like, she said, where's the rest of, you know, her body? And I won't get into that subject, but anyway. And he finally told her what he did. And she got up and she walked out, and that was basically the end of that. But and the way that they were telling in the movie, the way they were going through all this, if you didn't know any better, there's reasonable doubt that he didn't do this. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, I don't get it. How can, I mean, he was like this really, really nice, supposedly this really, really nice guy. And he just basically, yeah, it just, it really, 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 really kind of left me kind of baffled because, you know, I don't know who the, I don't know if, and it wasn't from his point of view. It was just basically, the movie was just about him and his life and, what he did. And, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, it was an interesting movie. It was just kind of weird because, you don't see him commit these murders, but yeah. So I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, this, is, really confusing. So, sorry. I'm rambling on. But yeah, that, and I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. It's on Netflix. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Um, I can't remember what the movie's called. And it has the girl in it that played in um, Mortal Instruments, the movie. But I can't think what the name of the movie is called. And I had to do truth, I didn't even recognize Zac Efron. It was just kind of like, oh, because it just didn't look like him. And yeah, I was just like, wow. But and I can't. I know it has Evil Vile in the title, but I can't remember the rest of the title. But it was just kind of it was just, yeah. And it was kind of like one of those movies that, anybody that, is a big fan of, thinking that he's innocent, this would have been a kind of movie that, they would have watched. But yeah. And the guy that played Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory played the district attorney that was prosecuting Ted Bundy's case. So that was kind of interesting to see him in this, you know, in this setting. It was kind of interesting. And it was just, I'll stop because I don't know how, I just don't want to bore you all, and I don't want to, and it's all I can say. You have to sit and watch it and understand, from what the actual facts are to what the movie is, because it's. And I don't know if any of the facts in the movie were right. I know that some of them were, but I don't know if the story of him and this woman are, I'm not sure. So that's the one thing that kind of confused me. But yeah. Okay, enough said about that. Y'all don't need to hear about that first thing Monday morning. Um, but anyway, this today's been kind of okay. I just hate Mondays. I really do. Mondays suck. I just don't like Mondays at all. And it's not because, I'm, worried about anything. I don't like Mondays. Some Mondays I don't even um do a whole lot. Some Mondays I'm just like sitting here, not wanting to really, move or anything. And I guess I'm just lazy. I don't know. But there's days I just don't care. So, trying to think what else has been going on around here. Um, I did my live, which, most of you probably saw. Um, oh, Kelly Smithhurst. That book that you told me about, I looked it up on Thrift Books and because I was going to order it. Oh my gosh, it's sold out. So I'm kind of hoping I can find it on another um, site. And if so, either way, um, if you know where I can get it, let me know. I'm going to still look, but I just because I went to thrift books because that's where I get my books, and I didn't see they said it was sold out. I'm not sure what the deal is with that and why, but I don't know if it's because it's a newer book or what. So um, but that's okay. I'll find it. Let's see. Um, gosh, I think the next when I get ready to do the next painting, I'm gonna let you all choose. I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna let you all choose which one you want, which one. Um, I've seen a couple people do this, so I'm gonna let y'all vote, um, and you can, post in the comments and so forth. I know which one I really, really want to start, but actually, there's two. So, well, three. So I'm gonna, show those three, and you can vote when I'm done with this, when I'm done with the Christmas presents, because I'm not going to do it now. I mean, I don't have time to do it now. I've got to finish this Christmas present. um, little dude, I don't know. He's not really, I don't know if it was just because, I don't know, that, he kind of wanted to be, just out here to be in the lives. And, I'm not sure, but I got him, as you all saw when I did my unboxing of the Avengers. That's his. And the whole thing was that, with the, um, I was going to show him how to do um, diamond painting. I taught him with the ones that Rachel Ray sent him. And, and I told him, I said, now this is up to you. You can do this yourself, or, mommy can do it for you. And he's been kind of like on the fence, off the fence, and I don't know. I'm just to this point. that I don't even know if he's really, really interested in diamond painting. So I think until he tells me different, I'm just going to plan to do that one for him for Christmas, because I mean, that was the reason why I bought it for him, was so that he could do it. But I mean, I guess because, you know, he's 9, he's a boy, and rather be, you know, playing um, Xbox with his friends, which is fine. So, you know, I'm not I'm not upset with that. Um, so we'll see. I'll keep you up to date on that one. We'll figure that one out eventually. Let's see, what else? Um, I don't want this to be a short video because I feel kind of. I do have an accent tag that I was going to do. I guess I can do it. Let's see. I guess I can do this accent tag. I wasn't going to do this because um, I don't know. Anyway, um, it's an accent tag that Going Off My Meds had posted, and the link is in one of her videos, and I can't. I think it's. I don't even remember, but it's on my phone, and you can probably find it on her channel under. I think it's one of her videos where she says it's an accent tag. I can't remember, but it's the website is WIS, WIS ledge LEDGE.com, and there's like 150 questions, and I'm not going to answer all 150 questions. Are you crazy? I couldn't do. No, there's no way. And some of these questions don't make any sense. So no. Okay. Um, the first question that I came across is, what do you call your parents? I call my parents mom and dad, or excuse me, mom, and I call my dad daddy. It's it's a habit, always always have done, and I've done that since I can remember. So, um, but yeah, um, what do you call the people who attend you at restaurants? I call them waiters or waitresses. Um, I don't know if there's any other, you know, name for them. I have never, you know, heard anybody else call them. I know nowadays, um, my oldest daughter, when she was waiting on tables, they called them servers, and, you know, instead of waitresses. So, yeah. What do you call a fried egg? Fried egg. That's what I call it. What do you call the food you eat in the morning? Breakfast? I don't know what else you want to call it, but that's what I call it. Um, I mean, I've heard other names for breakfast. You know, I've heard other, you know, names for that. Um, what do you call the garment you wear? Um, well, it all depends on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing, you know, a top, I'll call it a t-shirt. You know, um, a top. Um, what do I call the place where I store my books? A bookcase? I don't know what else you would call it. Um, and there's probably other, I know this is probably the most boring tag questions. Um, what do you call the name by which your parents address you? Well, that's my first name. It's my first name. And when they're really angry, they call me by my first and middle name. Um, what do you call the place where you pray? Church. I know other people call it, sanctuary. Um, I don't know of any other, you know. What do you call the food that you eat at night? Snack or a nighttime snack? It really all depends. Um, what do you call the shoes that you wear while running? I don't run. I do walk. So, I have just regular tennis shoes. And I do know that, there are some people that do run and do walk and they call their shoes, their tennis shoes, walking shoes or running shoes. So, uh, I just call mine tennis shoes because I don't, you know, I don't get all technical about that kind of stuff. So, um, and I don't even know why I'm doing this accent tag because I don't have an accent. And if I do, okay, you all probably hear it better than I do. Um, is there any named, what do you call the utilities that you use to travel from one place to another? I call it, well, it all depends. I don't have a car. And um, so, you know, if anything, it would be a car. Um, what do you call the people who live nearby your house? My neighbors. I mean, I don't know what else, you know, you would call them. I call them my neighbors. Um, I didn't realize that there was other, names for this. Yeah. Okay. Um, what is the one thing you use to brush your teeth? Toothbrush. What else would you brush your teeth with? I know I'm probably being totally, dingy here because there's probably other, you know, names for this. Um, what do you call the people who are quite old in age? I call them elderly. I don't like to call them, old. I'll call them elderly or, um, as basically, what I call them is elderly. Um, what do you call the people who work in a law firm? Well, there's a lawyer, then you have the paralegal, then you have the secretary, the receptionist. So, I don't know. These guys, you bear with me. These questions are not really, really, really specific on what they want you. Um, is there any brand you use on a daily basis? Yes. Suave uh, shampoo and conditioner, and Suave body wash. Um, is there any name you use to address your communication device? No. No, I just call it my cell phone. I know some people call it their mobile phone. I just call mine my cell phone because that's don't know what else to call it. Um, what do you call the instrument you use to wash your clothes? A washing machine? Um, what do you use to clean your toilet? Um, a toilet brush and bathroom cleaner. I'm probably answering these all wrong, and so yeah, don't laugh. Um, what do you use to go up and down in a building? An elevator. I know some people walk up and down the stairs. Um, and the stairs are an elevator. Um, what is the place? What is the place called where you get your spa done? Um, day spa. That's the only thing I can think of. Um, what else is next? What do you use to capture an image? A camera. How do you dress the mother of your mother? Um, grandma. What is the holder called in which you carry your usual stuff? Um, pocketbook or a purse? I know some people have, you know, there's different names for these things, but I'm just going by what I've, you know. Um, so all right, what do I call carbonated beverages? Soda, Pepsi. Um, how do you change your TV channel with a TV remote? How do you communicate with your friends and relatives? Cell phone. How do you address paranormal activities? Um, I don't know. That's one question I cannot answer. What do you do, or what do you use to make yourself beautiful? Okay, now really, you guys, really? Um, it all depends on the day. I use makeup and curling iron. Um, What do you call the places where food is stored, where food is sold? A grocery store? My grandmother used to call it something else, and I can't remember what she used to call it. But for me, um, oh, she used to call it the market. Don't ask me. I guess because, but I've always called it a grocery store. Um, what do I use to protect myself from the sun and the rain? From the rain, I use an umbrella, and from the sun, I use sunscreen. See, some of these questions are just like, okay. Um, is there anything you wear to protect your eyes? Yes, I wear sunglasses. I have to because I have um, possible glaucoma in my left eye. So I use that. I use sunglasses. She, that was. Which was your first pet animal? My first pet animal was a black lab. Uh, what do you take when you're sick? Um, Tylenol, antibiotics, and it all depends on what kind of sickness I am. If I'm like, normal, sick, then I'll take, the Tylenol, cold and fever or whatever. You know. Um, telling you guys, these questions, I just, I don't understand. What do you call the medicines you use to prevent pregnancy? Contraceptives? I don't know. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can't get pregnant. Some of um, what do you call your mother's brother? My uncle. So which thing is used to make hair straight? A hair straightener. See, some of these, yeah, some of these guys, I'm telling you. Okay, that's all I'm going to answer because some of these questions, I'm sorry. Some of those questions were just like, huh? It, and I know, I realize that was supposed to be fun, but huh? Some of these questions were just, strange. I mean, some of them I didn't even answer because they didn't apply, but then again, okay, strange, but whatever. So, yeah, crazy. Let's see what else. But that's all I'm going to answer for those tech questions because they just didn't make any sense, guys. Um, I'm almost finished with this section. So once I finish these two rows, these two rows, I'm going to turn it and I'm going to, you know, so that I can start up here because the way it's sitting on my drafting table now is kind of hard because I can't reach all the way up here And I'm not trying to kill myself. Let's see. What else? I'm trying to think of other things here. What else has been going on? Um, there's not a whole lot going on. Um, Usually I have things written down, and I need to start doing that again. And I feel like, I'm sitting here and y'all aren't gonna, yeah. Um, I feel like I'm just blowing out steam today. Um, oh, you guys seen, I don't know, the TV show, I think it's on USA Network. It's called The Colony. Now, I was watching, I've been watching it off and on, and I just noticed that they, had updated updated it on Netflix, and that there's, um, there are three, the new season 3 is out. And I'm sitting there watching this, and I don't get me wrong, okay? I like the show, or I did, because, the guy that's in the show, he's really, he seems to be like this really, really, cold, whatever, and he seems to be like, I don't know, I guess the hero, or at least that's what I thought. But now, I'm sorry. What the whole show revolves around. Okay. Those of you that have never watched it and probably never seen it, probably never heard of it. I never heard of it until I was watching, those of you that remember the TV show Lost. And, well, I started watching, binge watching that a couple years ago. And one of the guys that plays on Lost, that was, was starred on Lost, is the main character in this show. So, anyway, I started watching it, and I thought, I don't know. Kind of just, I just didn't know at first. I thought, well, let me watch, usually if I see something, I like it. So I thought, well, let me watch it and see what happens. And, well, then it started getting really good. So, now, mind you, I don't like his wife in the show. I don't like her at all. She's just, yeah, she acts like she has no emotion whatsoever. I don't understand it, but, that's just my opinion. So, anyway, I'm, watching this, and I thought, okay, this is, maybe it is going to turn out to be a really cool, show. So, I started watching the 3rd season, and I thought, I don't know. It's just like, okay, what's the point of them, leaving where they were living? They were living in LA. Aliens had come and taken over, the planet basically. And I thought, what is the point? Now, they get out, they get away. What's the point of going all the way up to Seattle and basically, you know, putting themselves in the same situation that they were kind of in before, with, they're in a colony, and, but this colony is a little different because this time, um, they were kind of, I guess, I don't know, I guess, led there in a really kind of weird kind of way. I don't know. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I just don't. It's taking a really, really down. It's going downhill fast, and I just don't. I just don't think that. I don't know. I just didn't like it, and I don't know. To me, I don't know. So, because it just, and Wayne Brady, the guy from Let's Make a Deal, and then the comedian, he's in it. He was in it, and I just sat there and I'm watching it and I'm thinking, okay, well, what's the point? They're supposed to be part of a resistance, and it just didn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, I don't know, if anybody has seen it, but it just, to me, I just thought it was just, I mean, the first two seasons were pretty good, don't get me wrong. But then this last season, I really have no desire to see it. And, to see the next, I mean, if season 4 is going to be just as depressing, I'll not watch it. Just because it's just, I thought, now that they got away from, you know, where they were in LA and all the problems that they had, I thought, okay, well, now they're going to be somewhere where, they're not going to have to worry about, the aliens. They can go to the resistance and they can basically start over. No, they didn't. And it just kind of just, I don't know. I just thought it was just kind of like, what's the point? So, that's one show that I don't know if I'll watch again. But I don't know if anybody, you guys have seen it, but that's just me. Let's see. I'm getting ready to start the next one. Yay! Now, all right. I'm gonna do this way. You guys, bear with me. I'm gonna turn this now. I hope, cause yeah. I don't know if I can do this and turn it, but we'll see. I got that whole section done. All right, now, whoops. Hopefully I can do this. Sorry, I'm knocking the camera, guys. I apologize. All right. Hopefully, I can do this without. Like I said, hopefully. Okay. And hopefully I won't be like this for long. I can go and start the next row. But again, Princess Belle is getting ready to be started. And yes, she will be upside down. I do apologize. Of course, now my freaking pool noodle is being a dumb bunny. Okay, there. Now, I need to move this over. I know, guys. I'm sorry. You weren't expecting all this when you plan to watch My Girl with Me today. I'm very sorry. Okay. Now. Anyway. Um. Whoopsie. I didn't want think I could do that. See, I need a section that I can do in no time. There we go. Alright, now, next thing. Yes, I'm talking to myself, people. Alright, anyway. Trash. That's really basically it. I mean, you guys can, I mean, I don't know if you guys want to sit here and watch me do this other section. I might just do this whole entire section like this. This works. I'm not with it, guys. I'm thinking, you know, out loud. Don't worry, I don't talk to myself, and I don't answer back. I mean, I do talk to myself, but I don't answer back. So, yeah, I'm not that crazy. Um, of course, I didn't think I was going to start, you know, finish that section in this drill with me. I will be doing a diamond tube video this week. Some of you know that that there are some of us that do, you know, reviews and, you know, so forth. I am not a review channel. I will say that now. But I will be showing you guys an idea that I got from another creator and what I do with it. No, I don't have any, you know, really completed things because I haven't done a review or a product review. So, but I'll show you that and show you, you know, what I do with that. Then I will be doing my floss tube video Wednesday or Thursday. It will be kind of a get to know me thing for the cross stitchers, you know, so forth and so on. I will warn you guys now that I only have 2 projects, cross stitch projects pulled out that I'm going to work on when I'm not diamond painting or doing other things. And those will be what I mainly focus on until, you know, they're completed. Now, granted, they are, you know, huge. So, I just want to give you guys a heads up because I don't want y'all to get bored. That's basically that. I did want to ask you all too. I know that most of you came to my live on Saturday morning. Is that time at, you know, 10 a.m. convenient for, you know, you guys? If so, let me know. If not, you know, I can move it up. It just all really depends on, because now it's, you know, school's getting ready to get out, and here shortly, most of the 90% of the time, we'll probably be, you know, going swimming at, you know, my best friend's house. Either way, you know, I can do one alive, you know, in the morning or whatever. If it starts, you know, getting to be to a point that I can't do a live on Saturdays, I will switch back to my Wednesday that I used to have, and, you know, until summer is over. But I just wanted you guys to know that I just, you know, But anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks. Come in.